Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Emerald Exchange. This is episode 4, and it's me today and my lovely partner, Tanya.
Hello. It's been a long time.
We took a little bit of a break. As you can see, we are starting off 2026 with episode 4, and we plan to share a lot more with you guys this year, and we're super excited. So, today we're just going to go over a lot about how 2025 was for us and diving into different experiences we've had thus far and sharing different knowledge with you guys. And yeah, I mean, Tanya, I would like to start with how was 2025 for you?
Well, the Emerald Group slash exchange went through a lot of changes, like marriages, divorces, some kids, some grandkids. I'm kidding, it wasn't that drastic, but we went through a lot of changes. We had a team and we had like a pipeline down of what we wanted to do, and then it ended up just kind of working out better how it was in the beginning. And people just found different avenues, but that's part of life. You meet people and you learn and then you spread your wings and fly off. So,
Yeah, I think it's funny because, like, the way the Emerald Group formed was very unexpected, and the
mhm.
way it fell apart was also unexpected in, like, a natural way. People grew and decided to take paths that were right for them, and of course, we love to see people grow and
Yeah.
make the decisions that bring you to different places in life. So cheers to growth on that. But as far as like our relationship goes, you've basically been my left hand since I've
The
met
left
you.
hand of God.
Since I've met you. And yeah, I mean the Emerald Group still exists in brains.
In spirit. Yeah, I mean, you brought me into real estate and I learned a lot from you, and I know that I can continue to learn a lot from you and grow, whether it's with you or alone. So I feel like I don't wanna leave you, you
I
know?
don't want you to leave me either because I'll be missing my left hand. So
Can't function with only
yeah.
one. But I think just, we've been able to maintain not just a friendship, but also a co-working relationship. We have a good balance. So I think that's the best of both worlds
Yeah,
for
I think
me.
it can be like especially hard. I mean, most people know this that are in this business is working with friends or
Yeah.
significant others, even, which we can dive into later, but can be difficult. I mean, you can really start to argue and butt heads at
Mhm.
things, and we've done a really good job at that, I would say. I mean, I know you
Yeah.
can agree.
Cheers to that. I agree. Yeah, we've been pretty good at managing our our dynamic. So, yeah, I don't necessarily want it to change. I think that I'm happy and also comfortable with where we're at, and I know that we can scale it to the next level with the way that we've been going. Last year, that little hurdle that we got, we had to dodge some bullets and adjust to the expansion and reduction of the team. And I think in some way, lost our footing a little bit and got overwhelmed in some aspects, but we found our way back.
Mhm.
I know for a while there, I felt like I was running around the city with my head cut off and maybe a few toes. I was losing it. But now this year, with some of those things having settled, I feel more balanced and I feel more relaxed, which is good. Now I
So
just need
far.
to so far, I just need to bump up my productivity again so I can get my groove back on. But I feel good about where I'm at, and prioritizing a healthy work-life balance has always been a goal, and I've been able to do that. And now that I've seen what I can do even under pressure, I know that I can handle whatever darts life throws at me.
Yes, ma'am. And so you officially hit your 2-year mark in real estate when?
I'll hit it end of March.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to renew my
To
license.
me, it feels like an eternity because I'm going on my 5th year and I feel like you've been here the whole journey. which you kinda have because I met you when I started real
Yeah,
estate, but we didn't start working together till 2,
yeah,
3 years ago. So, your 2nd full year complete, last year was definitely a 10x from your 1st year.
for
I
sure.
mean, can you share more about how it's been so far? 2 years now? I mean, most agents drop out of the business at this point, if not sooner.
Yeah, so I think the difference, and I know I mentioned it maybe in like the first or second episode,
Yeah.
was the way that it all began. You know, most agents, you do your classes, you join a brokerage, you find a team, and you just slowly kind of learn and it ramps up. And maybe 6 months in, you close your first deal. It's a really slow start. And the way that you roped me in was just kind of like helping you here and there. And I slowly started learning about it before even considering real estate. So I think by the time I decided that I wanted to do it, I had a little bit of a leg up because I already had some knowledge. Because I did start maybe about 6, 7 months before I actually got my license
Mhm.
and like shadowing you and our other mentor as well. So I had closed a deal, not a name, but I had closed a deal before I got licensed. And so that motivated me. And I had, I think, a record year for my first year. I surprised myself.
Do you remember how many houses you sold your 1st year?
I think I had like 16 transactions. And that last closing that we had put me at the 4 million mark, which was like mind blowing. I didn't think it would get there.
Guys, she didn't believe in real estate
And I
for
did
a long
not.
time,
I didn't.
and I don't blame her. I mean, when I was trying to convince her to start was when rates jumped, so she was like, "Alyssa, the news says no one's gonna buy a house
Yeah.
and everything is gonna crash," and
It's
I
like,
was
I'm
like,
reading this article and
"Girl."
it's not looking good.
But, yeah, so your 1st year, 16 deals, 4 million in sales, and what about last year?
Last year, I'm gonna have to look at my Google Sheets for this. I know I had 22 transactions, and I wanna say it was, like, over 6,
Okay.
if I recall. I'm gonna have to look at my sheets to verify, but I know for sure it was over 6.
And what do you think felt differently last year than your 1st year that allowed you to scale?
Definitely the motivation, because once I saw that I could do it, I was like, "Whoa, okay, this next year, my goal is gonna be to do even better." My goal was to make 20,000 more in GCI than I had the previous year, and I think I was, like, at 50,000 in GCI. And in no way am I trying to brag. It's just a goal that I accomplished. I set it, and I went over it,
Yeah.
um, which again is another motivator to me. And it also allows me to think of, okay, I was able to achieve this. What other goals am I going to set my mind to now?
Mhm.
And again, you know, I've learned a lot from you and what you've done in the business. I mean, you've 5 years, it's a long time, but compared to a lot of agents in the business, it's so short. You know,
Mhm.
we meet agents all the time. Oh, I've been here 20, 30 years since houses were $12,000, and you've done so much, and I admire what you've done in the business.
Thank you.
And so my goals that I'm setting are a reflection of yours as well.
Thank
So
you.
I'm copying you.
No, I mean, I think that that's amazing because I think there's so much potential in real estate, like, it's endless how much you can do, and it just comes down to how much you're willing to put in.
Mhm.
And you can sit back for 2 weeks and not really talk to many people, and next month you have no closings. So
Mhm.
it's really just a reflection.
It is.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I heard your whisper. It's really just a reflection of how much you wanna put into this and how much you wanna scale it. I can set a goal for 10 million this year or 30 million this year, but how much am I gonna work
Mhm.
to actually achieve that goal? Um, I wanted to ask you too, but I kind of forgot what I was gonna ask, but it was reflecting on last year. Um, I was gonna bring up the point that in your 2nd year, I think the business really changed for you because you started putting on the project manager slash GC hat.
Yeah.
So if you wanna maybe, like, take us into what that was like, because a lot of your deals and transactions were a lot different than your first year. You were involved as sort of the investor or the partner to the
Mhm.
investor.
Yeah. That took a turn. Not a bad turn, just, you know, looped upside down and spun me around. I didn't expect it. I knew I could do it just from, all the ideas that we do with previous investors all the time. We always gave them ideas. You should do this, you should do that. They would ask us, what should we do? Where should we do it? And so learning from also the contractors that we worked with, we thought, I can do this. And I put myself to the test. I did. Could I have done it better? Absolutely. But I think that happens in any aspect of your career. You can always find ways in which you can improve and do better. I know there were some areas in which I didn't do as well, but again, I'm not a licensed contractor and I didn't do any heavy work. It was, let's change out cabinets. I definitely wasn't involved in anything like we're going to take on electricity and replumb
Yeah,
this house.
yeah. And
So just
just
to make that clear.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just making sure, like, those people did show up.
Yes, exactly. So it was coordinating a lot of workers and contractors and pricing. So I've learned a lot about pricing and good quality work versus not, what it takes to finish a house. Because even before then, we would go into these houses and say, okay, this might take about 80,000 to flip. This might take 35,000. So I've gotten a good scale of what it would take. And I know for sure now because I've been on the end where I'm looking at materials, I'm paying for them, I'm selecting them, I'm organizing the workers. So I've also learned about what it takes to finish a project in terms of labor and how much that's going to cost. So, yeah, definitely not what most agents do in their first few years. That was totally different. But now I use that skill set to help some investors that were in a bind because their contractors left the job or they weren't doing anything at all. Well, technically, yeah, if you're not doing anything, you abandoned it.
Mhm.
And I have officially partnered with one of my clients who's out of the country and he was in that situation. So we have flips. So we have one going on right now. I finished one, it went on the market, it's sold and we're working on one right now. We're going to start one hopefully next week. And I'm very excited for those. I think they're going to end up beautifully. I have aligned myself with some good subs and contractors, and I'm going to oversee these projects, and they're going to be successful.
And what is that like for you partnering with another investor?
So I pushed for it a little bit in the beginning, mostly because I saw that they were already drowning and I felt so bad for them because I knew that that could be a lasting partnership. And I was just talking to an investor, him and another subcontractor about it. How it's just so sad because they are the kind of investor who was really motivated and wanted to do so much work and he was let down by this contractor who this one investor could have kept him fed for months. And
Literally.
yeah, so just devastating. Like you just screwed up a big opportunity for yourself. And so I was trying to step in for a long time, like, please let me help you. And finally they allowed me to do it. So it's like, yes, finally. Not like a yes, I got the gig, but yes, we can finally move forward because a lot of these projects were stalled and that's just money sitting that you're losing. You're not making anything off of it. And it makes me feel good that I can get them out of this pit. And with the first project out of the way, it was such a relief for them when it was finally done, when it went on market, when they saw, oh my gosh, it's staged, there's photos, there's showings. They were
What
so
house was
excited.
that?
Chelmsford.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they were really excited about that one. And, it closed.
And that one, like, took months for you to even get involved in.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, they had bought the house over a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was one of the partner's suggestions like, look, Tanya's in San Antonio. She does this for other investors. She helps them. I think you should just let her take my place." And so he called me, and I remember I think I called you and I was like, "Oh my god, he just called me. I think he's pushing him out. Like, what's going on?" I felt bad and I called the other guy like, "Is everything okay?" I didn't want him to feel like I was taking his place. He's like, "No, no, it was my idea." So, it was relief to be able to help them. And now we're finally moving forward with the other projects that were stalled for a long, long time.
Mhm.
And gosh, when you just look at like the dates when they purchased them and all the money, like I'm looking at all the transactions and it makes me so sad. But we're coming up
Yeah.
and I'm gonna
Turning it
change it
around.
all. I'm turning it around and they already see all the changes that I've made and how I've helped them and they're so pleased with
Mhm.
with it so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy because you probably didn't expect that to
No,
happen
no,
for
not
sure.
to be like in a full-on partnership. Like
Yeah.
contracts were
I know,
signed and
like,
everything.
last year or, like, prior to this going on, you were excited to do your first flip eventually,
Mhm.
but this just kind of, like, happened
Yeah.
where these clients were like, "You know what, Tanya? Like, you're actually here in San Antonio, you know more, so why don't you just help us and partner and be an investor in this project?"
Yeah. So technically I've already done my first flip.
Yes, you
It just
have.
didn't really feel like it because it was kind of almost done. I just took it to the finish line, and then that's pretty much the same thing that's happening with this other one. It's almost done. We're just having to redo things. So I told them we're going to go back to square one, and we're going to check everything off, make sure it's done correctly.
Yeah.
So second flip. Didn't expect it to happen this way, but it is, and it's great.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be with you.
I know. I did too. I was, like, ready for our first flip together, but you did one, and now you're in your second.
Yeah, and
Um,
the third one's big, it's a doozy.
that's
Like,
Elmhurst?
yeah, I mean, that house is, like, cracked in half, basically.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've touched on this in past episodes, but if this is your first time listening in, yeah, we're a lot different than most agents in our market because we're very hands-on with our investors, given a lot of our investors are out of state, so we're involved through the whole thing. I mean, we've gone over how we check in on projects, we stay in communication with the contractor, we give suggestions on design, etc. I mean, now you see like sometimes we partner with investors too on deals.
Mhm.
Not all the time, but some things happen where maybe that makes sense. Um, so yeah, just to show like the way we operate the business is a lot different than most agents because we want to see other investors succeed. People have a dream to become an investor in real estate and quit their job and make money through real estate because it's fun and it's something you can do what is the word? Like on a flexible schedule.
Yeah.
So helping others achieve that and see success is our ultimate goal because we want to do that too. And I don't want to sit here and watch someone lose money. I mean, I can get into a project that's going on right now that I sold my client his very first flip. He came to me as a contractor on something else we were working on. He was like, "You know what, Alyssa, I want to get into house flipping because I want to stop this business. I've been
Mhm.
in this business for X amount of years and I just want to build up some capital and move to wherever out of the city eventually." It's like, "Okay, let's get going." Closed on the first project, and now today we're sitting negotiating a deal that's $17,000 less than what he was hoping for. And we're at a place where it's like, okay, do I just take this offer right now and know I'm going to close on it? Or do I hope next week someone brings me 7,000 more and I'm only taking a 10K loss, for example? But ultimately, when you get into business, not everything is going to be a success. And I think our investors, everyone mostly knows that. We strive to see everyone succeed. I think succeeding is not losing money. He's not going to lose money. And that's
Mhm.
the best thing that can happen because flipping is so risky. I mean, the market can change whenever. The house next door can sell for 50K below what you thought. And now that screws you on the
Exactly.
comp. So, Flipping is really risky, and I think ultimately if you're not losing money, you're winning, and he does feel like that right now, like, "I'm not losing money, I'm gonna profit X amount at least." So, that's just really what it takes, and at the end of the day, it's your very first project, you're learning from mistakes to move on to the next one.
Yeah,
And I'm sure in you being involved with the deals so much as the investor, you're able to provide that to your other investor clients
exactly.
and give them that, what is the word I'm looking for? Give them that heads up.
Experience,
Yeah.
heads up,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a heads up. And like you said, it's risky, sometimes, and there's times when you don't even break even, you do lose. It's like gambling, you might hit the jackpot or you might go home with your pockets empty, which, we hope that that doesn't happen, but yeah, whenever a house next door sells for less than what you predicted, that definitely can kill a deal. And that just comes up to motivation. As an investor, you're motivated because you're going to make a profit,
Mhm.
but the person next door, they might be getting a divorce and they just want to get rid of their house so they can get rid of their spouse,
Yeah.
and they're pricing it way under, and unfortunately that hurts. But I mean, like everything in life, it's a lesson. You take some knowledge from it and put it into your next project. Even
Mhm.
if you lose, it's not about winning or losing. It's also about learning. So, move on to the next one and go from there.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
With taking on so much last year, do you feel like you almost hit a point of burnout, or because you were managing projects, you were leaving clients on the side and not giving them attention or potentially lost out on other deals
A
that you could
hundred
have?
percent. 100%. I think there was like a day too that I got snappy with you, and I remember it because I felt so bad because
Well, I
I
don't
just
remember it,
felt
so you're good.
but I felt so overwhelmed. I think at that point I was managing like 2, 3. It was Chelmsford, it was those other 2 projects, and something else comes to mind, but I was pretty much running around all day, every day for, like, a good, I don't know, 3-month period, and I was definitely leaving some money on the table because I had buyers like, "Hey, do you have this? Do you have that?" And I was just ignoring them, and I need to reach back out to them to this day to get back on that horse because I was so preoccupied with what I had at that point, and it was so important that I finish it because those clients had already been, like, left in the dust by whoever was helping them prior, like, their contractors, so I wanted to make it a point that I needed to finish and not let them down there, and that was another stressor that I had, and I was very disorganized too because I just kinda, again, got thrown in, not by anyone but myself. My
Mhm.
clients asked me, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "Yes." So that's one thing. I'm not gonna say no, probably, because I thought, you know what, it's a challenge. Can I do it? And if it's a long time client, I feel for them. So I didn't really think it through as far as how I should approach it, and I was just everywhere.
Mhm.
But now that I have resolved those issues, I problem solved a lot. Anytime someone calls me, "What are you doing?" "I'm problem solving." I feel clearer and I can jump back into what I was doing before because I found myself recently with some spare time, and it's nice. I'm like, "Oh, today I'm just gonna drink some coffee and I'm not really gonna do much." But that's also showing me like, "Oh, I have so much time in my day. I can finally get back on to what I was doing last year
Mhm.
and really produce."
Mhm. Yeah, and when you're taking on, like, new tasks or new duties in the business, I mean, it just all comes down to, like, managing your time,
Mhm.
and that can be difficult because you're trying to get one thing done and something else comes up, and you just dive into that and forget about the other
Yes.
thing, and it never gets done. And I mean, I've gotten a lot better, but going on my 5th year, I still struggle with that. Like, for example, I told my coach I would make 10 cold calls every day, and I've done it once for the last 2 weeks. She texted me yesterday morning, "Hey, how are the calls going?" And I haven't replied. So sorry if you're listening. But
Guilty.
just because, like, it's there on my calendar, but I'm doing something else, and, like, it's just about having those priorities and keeping on track with, like, your time management, and then it just goes back to goals, like, well, what are your goals actually? Like, if
Yeah,
you're not doing that, or if your goal last year was to help 5 families, you didn't even touch those 5 families because you were working on your project and didn't
right.
carve out time for them, so it can be really difficult.
Yeah, and that's where
We
it
wear so many hats. We wear so many hats.
so many. Yeah, because 'cause we're not just working with buyers and sellers. "Oh, let me call Joanne, and let me call Jonathan, and let me call" I don't know why I went to Jay's, but I don't know, whoever, right? And let's just go schedule a showing. No, I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go pick up materials, and let me call this worker, and then this electrician, and did he get paid? And is this done? And, oh, this deadline."
Mhm.
There's so many things going on. But yeah, time management and blocking time is definitely where I need to do better, and I am. I got myself a little planner. I'm more of a writing down person. I don't like to use my phone so much. I have my notes and I never look at it.
Mhm.
But for like a long time, I was always one like if I wrote it down physically, I would retain it.
Yeah.
And so I bought myself a physical planner and I've been using it religiously and it's helped me
Oh,
so
I
much.
need to
I
see
feel
this
more
little
organized.
planner.
I'll show you later. It was a splurge. But
A splurge
it was a
on a
splurge.
planner?
Yes, you'll see later.
Oh gosh.
But it's helped me so much. Like, I have, like, my everyday schedule, and then I have my to-do list, and I feel like I've gotten a lot more done in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 months of the year because of that. I feel more organized,
That's so
so
good. I'm glad
it's
to hear
getting
that
better.
because I know you've always not always, but you've struggled with
I
organization.
have. I used to be so good at it, so good, but my office is super cluttered right now, and that's kind of a representation of my mind. So if I clean up my office, maybe my mind will be more at ease. We'll see. That's an experiment
Yeah.
for the next episode. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But yeah, what helps you stay organized?
I mean, I use my calendar, like I time block. Do I follow it? No, not always. I try to. Um, I mean, like each hour or so I'll have like a specific thing I'm working on, but I tend to like really just fall off of it because I get distracted, like someone's texting me, someone's calling me, a
Mhm.
new lead calls me. So it gets really hard to like focus on the task at hand. Um, but I think the most important thing is writing things down, like you said,
Yeah.
like whether that's physically or on the computer, however you do it. I just try to get through my to-do list. I think I've been pretty good about Mondays, specifically being the mornings where I'm going through my listings
Mhm.
and making sure I followed up with all the showings that happened from the last 7 days, and then getting with my sellers on the feedback we got, where we're at, or whatnot, and then like sending them the weekly report about what happened. So I've been good about that happening on Mondays. And in the mornings, um, just kind of like analyzing deals. I mean, I'm kind of talking in circles here, but I always try to go to the gym in the mornings because, as I've seen so many times, is if I push the gym to the evening, I just won't go because I'm still wanting to work, or I'm too tired at that point because 'cause it's
Yeah.
been a really long day. So I know that I really have to shift that to the morning or do it, like, kind of at a lunch break and then come back to the computer. Um,
It's a good way to start because your week starts off already being organized with a flow rather than jumping into something big.
yeah. Yeah,
So
for
I might
sure.
take a page out of that book. But I know you do that because I do constantly get notifications. Our calendars are still
I
attached.
know.
So I get like 1 PM call with Alyssa, and I guess you have like a call with somebody, but I'm like, I have a call scheduled. And so I'll tap the notification and it automatically calls you.
What?
I've done it like twice. I'm trying to see like, what is this? Did we have something scheduled? And then you're like, what's up? And I'm like, oh, I think I had to call you. And so it's happened before. But I know you use that a lot. So that's kind of also what taught me, okay, this is working for her. Let me do it my own way so I can have some clear space to get
Yeah.
things done.
Yeah.
So, with all of the craziness that I had, how was your year last year? Because you also had like some first and this hasn't happened before type moments.
Yeah, so last year was my 4th year, um, and last year I set a goal. I think I even said this on one of the podcasts last year, how I wanted to double my average price point. I didn't increase my sales volume. I kept that at a $15 million goal. I increased my average price point volume, and I think I like barely missed it. My average price point goal was like 450, and I think last year it came out to like 430. Um, I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was because I remember reviewing that the other day. And years prior to that, average price was below 250 because
Yeah.
we're working with investors, so, they're buying cheaper houses and we're reselling them like less than 400, 300K sometimes. Um, but I made it a really big goal last year that I didn't wanna necessarily work more, but work smarter and have higher dollar sales amount, higher GCI commission on sales, and it worked. I mean, I sold like right under 15 million again, 40 transactions, and netted more GCI than years prior. So I think the way I was able to do that was shifting some of my investors into buying higher priced houses,
Hmm.
because the spread was bigger. So a lot of investors might come in like, hey, I just want to flip a house that's under 200 ARV, like 350, 300, because that's the average sales price in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But like little do most of you know, San Antonio has a really good luxury market, and there's plenty of buyers in that 5 to 800 range, and probably more than you think, 900 plus range. So I had a lot more, listings that were more than 300,000, so that definitely helped, getting investors to throw the ball in higher price point properties and flips and stuff. Um, Last year, we also broke into the $1,000,000 price point, you and
Yeah.
I say, as
Yeah.
we. Um,
I remember it
so
well.
that definitely helps average price point when you sell higher dollar deals.
For sure.
Um what was our first one last year?
Terrell.
Oh, yeah.
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 Which we need to resell.
Yes.
So, if anyone is looking into a luxury flip with a good spread, we got one.
78209, one of the best zip codes.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, that closed January of last year, and
Yeah.
this deal was off market. We were driving the neighborhood several times. We saw this house. We're like, "That is empty for sure."
Hmm.
We cold called them. You cold called
I
them
stalked
a
them.
few times.
Yeah, I was a creeper. I found out where they lived and I called like four different family members. And I think at first they didn't want to talk to me. And then eventually they did. They're like, yeah, we do want to sell it actually. And we made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny deal. It was stressful,
Yeah.
of course, but what good deal isn't stressful? In the
That's
end,
what
it
I'm
pays
coming
off.
to learn. Higher
Yeah.
dollars bring higher problems.
Yes,
More
mo
money,
money,
more
mo
problems.
problems.
Exactly. But yeah, so that was the first one, and then, um, had another one close around 1.6, I think, on White Church,
Mm, mhm.
and then we had, I think, one more. We
Yes.
had listings, though. We listed a $2 million house
Mhm.
in Terrell Hills, which is
Yes.
still on the market right now, but we
Late
listed
last year,
yeah, we
it
listed
was
that one at
listed.
the end of last year. Um, I guess
Then
Hildebrand went on the market last year too, or was it
no, no, that was
January?
this year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Then there was the other one in the Dominion that went on the market,
oh, yes.
and,
Yeah, another one, 1.8, that went on the
yes,
market. Um,
that one's rented. It's surprising how many people are in the luxury rental market as
yeah,
well.
that's definitely something we learned while
Yeah.
having that listing.
We had, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 inquiries to rent it.
And the house wasn't even listed for rent.
Yeah, it wasn't. So that was surprising. So if you even as an investor, if you buy and hold $1 million property, you're gonna have someone wanting to buy or rent it. So there's an exit strategy for those too, which that makes people, I think, a little weary because you think of BRRRRs with these smaller priced homes, but you can do it with $1 million homes too. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, and I think too, like, once we had those listings go live, specifically the one that's rented out at 1.8, 1.9, I mean, I was really, like, reassured and comforted by the fact of how much traffic we were getting.
Mhm.
Like, just showing how much, um how many buyers that are in our market looking in that price point?
Yeah,
Because we had a ton of showings on it. I
we
mean, more
did.
than 30, I think,
I mean, it
but we
was
didn't even
like
have any open houses.
no, we only had one broker open, which was very successful, and we had 2 to 3 showings a week,
Mhm.
which made me wanna move closer to San Antonio because I just thought, "Man, every day I'm driving, like, 50 minutes." So, that was a key factor.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was really reassuring, and that was, like, a new learning point for us breaking into the $1,000,000 price point in the market and seeing, like, wow, there's, so many buyers in this price point,
Yeah.
regardless of the interest rates. There's still cash buyers
Mhm.
and,
And even if they're
buyers
not, they have the
putting a large
liquidity to
down
back it
payment.
up. Yeah.
Right, right. Um, so that definitely, like, sparked a new light bulb in, I think, our heads last year, like,
Mhm.
"Wow, we need to let's start targeting more of these houses," and now that we've had a few under our belt, I would say, like, we're definitely more confident, like, if we got a call from a $2,000,000 seller that wants to sell their house, like, now at least I feel a lot more confident going into that appointment because
Yeah.
I've sold a few in that price point and I've interacted with other homeowners and buyers in that price point. And when I first started in real estate, it was like always like, I want to sell in Terrell Hills, I want to sell in the Dominion, like all these artsy uh houses. And you and I would drive through like, oh, we want to sell here. And then it's like now happening
Yeah.
slowly but surely.
Yeah,
Not really
especially in
slowly. I mean,
Monte Vista.
it's going down.
Yeah,
We didn't even
definitely.
talk about Monte
I
Vista yet.
know, Buena Vista, that's, like, your favorite neighborhood.
I know.
That's one of, like, the cuter neighborhoods in San Antonio. It's historical. You can find varying price points, like, from the 300s to the millions,
Yeah.
and these are just beautiful, architecturally beautiful homes,
Mhm.
and I know that was, like, a goal for you, Monte Vista. I mean, you'd live there. You would love to live there,
Yeah.
and in that 1 year, it was, like, 4 houses
Last year.
and one on one single street
Last
too.
year on one street, West Lulwood,
Yes.
we sold
We
2
sold one
4
house to
houses.
the buyer, so you had the listing and in Beacon Hill, and, we found that house in Monte Vista,
Mhm.
and he loved it, and that was the first one,
Yep.
and then he connected you to the listing that you
Mhm.
had and to that investor. I had the seller, you had the buyer
Mhm.
on that
Another
same
cold
street.
call.
Yeah, another cold call,
Another
I
cold
found
call.
him, and then on the other end of the street,
For sale by owner.
for sale by owner to another investor from social media, but all in West Lowwood.
Yeah.
So we gotta go do some door knocking there.
I know, yeah, we've sent out some mail, but
Yeah,
so we'll have 2 listings coming up in Monte Vista,
on
hopefully
that same
within the
street.
next 60 days. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot to reflect on, like, breaking into that price point now and being able to be confident to start targeting higher dollar properties. I think it's really exciting, but, just another thing to add to the plate.
Yeah. Do you ever get, like, imposter syndrome or feel inadequate?
I don't so I was, like, thinking of that. I feel like in those moments, like, when those properties came to us, those appointments happened, like I said, like, it was like I was waiting for this to
Mhm.
happen type of thing. So, it's not sort of that imposter syndrome, like, "Is this really, like, happening to me? Like, is it me?" Because it's like, "No, like, this is what I want it to happen."
Yeah.
And still now, it's like, next up, 2,000,000, which we did this year.
That's right.
In
Yeah.
January, we closed a $2,000,000 deal. So it's like, how much higher can we keep taking it and targeting? sellers we can help sell a luxury property because it's just so much different. And when it comes to that,
Yeah.
or helping buyers who have all kinds of different needs in that price point and are looking for high-end finishes, and that's another thing we've learned with having these listings, how picky a lot of buyers can be.
Super,
Because when you're
and
paying over $1,000,000, you want
perfection.
perfection.
Yeah, you walk into a $300,000 house, and you're like, I need some caulk there, but all good." Or, it's a little rusted, it's okay."
Yeah,
No, in these million-dollar homes, that baseboard's crooked, I'm out. When it's something that, "Wait, I can have someone fix it." Nope, done.
yeah.
Um, but as far as, like, I do feel a little inadequate sometimes. I think maybe because I'm newer, I haven't been doing it as long as you have.
No, I can agree with you. I feel
So,
that way sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
I feel that way now with some things.
Yes, and a lot of the agents that we deal with too, they're bigger agents, or they come from these prestigious brokerages like Phyllis Browning and Cooper Sotheby's,
Mhm, mhm.
have that name behind them, and, we've only been doing it for so long. They'll ask me, "How long have you been doing it?" "Oh, like 2 years."
Yeah.
"What are you doing here? How did you land this client?"
Yeah, we had an agent tell us, "Oh, I've never heard of you guys before."
I hadn't heard of her either, so
But yeah, that's definitely, I mean, sort of a hurdle to play with too, because you kind of get that like pushback in a sense, or like that vibe from maybe an agent, maybe a seller, whoever it is, you're not with X brokerage, so
Mhm.
how do you know how to sell luxury properties or whatever that looks like.
But they had to learn at some point too, and I think that's probably what some people forget about after doing something for so long. It's you also started from the bottom.
Yeah.
So, we had to learn and start from somewhere as well.
So, yeah, since we do deal with, agents that have been in the business for a long time and sell a lot of luxury deals and farm these high-end deals, how do you think how is it for you when you're having those types of conversations, or having that confidence in yourself that you can be the person on the other side closing the deal?
So, it's funny that you mentioned that you asked this because as you were asking the question, I was thinking of the answer. And it's something that I do in other situations as well. And I remember the first time you pointed it out, you probably don't, it's been a long time. But I will throw out big words sometimes.
Yes, you have high vocabulary.
And that it makes me feel confident because when I throw out a word and you don't know what it means, I'm banking on you not knowing what it means, and it trips you up. And no one likes to feel dumb or inadequate, like they don't know something. So I'll say that word, which I can't think of one right now. It just depends on the conversation. Another person on the line's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And then they just end up agreeing with me, or that just makes it seem like I know more, and that
Mhm.
makes me feel confident. So, just, like, BSing my way through some stuff and tripping you up, that makes me feel confident.
Okay.
So, that's what I do, and, like, I see you too, you just kind of, you wear your blazers and you that makes you feel confident, and
Yeah.
so that's my blazer.
Yeah, I think it's just about, like, of course, like, being yourself, but, like, just being calm and, like, not trying to be someone you're not either, but knowing you can be,
Yeah.
like, in that position too, and, like, you are there, you're that
Mhm.
person negotiating on the other side, or sitting at Joe's dining table having that high dollar listing appointment.
Right. And you know what? Our buyers too, and something they said the other day, like, advocate for me. It's like, okay, I'm trusting you to handle this for me. It's like, okay, if you trust me, I've got to show up
Mhm.
and show that I am worthy of that trust
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So this job takes a lot of confidence as well. I mean, and all the little curveballs that we get thrown with, whether it's the luxury market or investing, you've got to be confident in what you're going to do. And investing takes a lot of it.
Yeah.
And
And
you've had to take some
yeah,
chances.
and even with, like, having confidence with investing, also, like, providing the investor the confidence too.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be able to tell you, the investor, if you're like, "Alyssa, are you gonna sell this for 300,000?" Like, "Yes, I'm gonna sell this for
Mhm.
300,000." As long as you make it look like that house that sold for 300,000 though, of
Yeah.
course I'll get it sold for 300,000. Um, and not even just with that, like today I had a client, they're looking for houses to buy and rent out using the BRRRR strategy, and, they were giving some pushback on a deal I sent because they ran the numbers, they're like, "This isn't gonna cash flow. My expenses are gonna put me all at 2,500 and my monthly payment's gonna be 2,000." And then I went into saying, "Look, in this market, cash flow is everyone's goal, but in this market, with these interest rates and everything else, we're not gonna cash flow positive if we're looking at a neighborhood, A neighborhoods and B neighborhoods.
Mhm.
If you want a house under 100K, I'm sure we can cash flow positive, but you're gonna be in a really bad neighborhood." So, when I'm looking at deals that I wanna buy as rentals, I'm looking at, am I buying it below market value? And as is, it's worth 50K more? Okay, I'm
Mhm.
immediately walking into a house with 50K equity. That's really important. And then seeing, how much is this house gonna be worth after I throw in some rehab? Okay, it's gonna be worth 150,000 more. And then once I put in that money and I get a renter in and I can refinance and pull out most, maybe all of the money I put into the deal, it's about, that's how you're building wealth, not
Mhm.
$100 cash flow every month. That's not gonna do anything for you. You already have equity in that house, and you're not putting a lot of money in the house. You have equity and you have a renter. And in 2 years, that house might be worth 50K more than what it was.
Exactly.
So when I broke that down for them, they were like, "You're right. Let us review this with the team. We'll get back to you."
Done. Let's sign
So
it.
that's another way, like, providing that confidence to them. Like, I can't just say that if I don't believe in that, but, um, last year, me and my partner, we bought, I think it was 6 rentals, maybe 7, I kinda lost count, to be honest, but the year before that, in 2024, was when I was flipping houses,
Yeah.
and I didn't flip any houses last year, mostly because I have one that didn't sell, and we refinanced that one, which I've talked about in past podcasts. That was my biggest one. We refinanced that in August, and we put a renter in there for, what is it, like 8 months, I think? They'll move out in May. But thankfully, that renter is covering our mortgage payment and some, so it's sorta like a breather for now, and then when they move out, we gotta sell it. So, last year I was like, "I'm not gonna buy any flips unless, like, a perfect deal comes along.
Mhm.
It's gonna be really easy." And we shifted our focus on looking for rental properties, so, the first rental that we bought last year was bank owned. We bought it for 220,000. I think the rehab was around 60K, and then it appraised for, like, 375
Oh, wow.
afterwards, and we rented it out for 3,000 a month. We actually got really lucky with
That's
those numbers
amazing.
because the rents in San Antonio are pretty low. But we put it on the market, I think, for, like, 2,600,
Mhm.
but this person actually came to us wanting to rent the house and do, Airbnb arbitrage or rental arbitrage, I can't remember what it's called. Um, so he signed a 3-year lease with us for 3,000 a month, and we were like, "Yeah, go ahead, like, do that." Some people that can be a risk for, it is a risk for us too, but that's where insurance and things come along. But if I'm getting more than what I wanted for 3 years, that's
Yeah.
completely fine, and he can do his own thing with Airbnb. He's making the property look nicer, he's maintaining it, he added all this stuff to the backyard, and that Airbnb is getting booked like crazy.
Wow.
They have, like, almost 5-star reviews.
That's great.
So, I guess Airbnb arbitrage is still around these days. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that used to be really hot a couple years ago. It's not something I've ever done or seen anyone do until this tenant that we have. But yeah, when we refinanced, we were able to pull out almost all the money we put into the house. And when you refinance, you don't pay taxes on that money, where you pay taxes on flipping houses. So then put that money into the next deal.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's another way to invest that most people don't think of.
Yeah, and funny enough, like, I've have so many investors looking for BRRRR opportunities now, but that's the thing about shifting the mindset of, like, you're not gonna really cash flow right now unless you get a
Mhm.
crazy deal, like a foreclosure on a house, but interest rates and everything's just mostly because our rents are really low here too. We don't have high rents, like, you can rent
Yeah.
Ashton Village, which is a 3,500 square foot house
Yeah.
for, like,
That's
3,000
worth
a
over
month.
500,000. Yeah, for about 3,000.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's in a gated neighborhood, but that's considered top dollar here. Anything else, you're stepping into the luxury arena.
Yeah,
But even then, I mean, even those numbers are crazy when we saw what luxury houses rent for here in San Antonio.
yeah.
That was that was pretty cool. But, it's something that your partner had said to me last year. We were talking about a rental for another client who really badly wanted a cash flow. And when you're buying a property to rent it out, to hold it, you're thinking in the long term. Flips is short term. You're gonna make this amount of profit in a short amount of time. But when you're holding a property, you have to think 10, 15 years down the line. So cash flow isn't the priority, it's equity.
Yes, equity. It's equity, because that's how
Yeah.
you build wealth. You hold on to that house with the tenant for 10 years, 30 years, and then after 30 years, the house is paid off actually, because
Yeah,
your mortgage is 30 years.
exactly. And speaking of tenants and holding, you just stepped into not just acquiring a single family rental, but into a multifamily.
Yeah, yeah. So we did, I think, 6 or 7 single families last year, and this year we didn't really like have a goal. I want to buy a multifamily this year, but that's always been in my head
Mhm.
about house hacking and all the things, and because we sell it to other investors. And funny enough, I put the offer on this fourplex at the end of last year. It was like November or December.
Mm.
And I pretty much kind of lowballed it. Um, and they were like, no, we got another offer. We're going to go with them. Okay. And then I think maybe like a month passed, maybe even like 6 weeks. And the agent reached out to me and she's like, hey, that contract fell through. Like, are you still interested? And I was like, in the same terms that we offered. And she was like, yep. And I was like, yeah, we're interested.
Wow.
So we put this fourplex under contract for, I want to say it was like 380,000 after the seller concessions we asked for. And after the inspection, we brought it down another 50K.
Dope.
So we have that. We're going to close on that for 330,000 at the end of March if
That's
all goes
amazing.
continues to go well. Um, and yeah, that's gonna be a first for me buying a multifamily. We've helped other investors do it, but this is gonna be my first experience and something that we're also gonna have to rehab. We don't have to rehab it, but we're choosing to because we want to refinance it and get it appraised for like probably 550
Yeah.
plus and then pull all of our money out. And um each unit is a 3 bed, 2 bath. It's 5,000 square feet. It's a huge property. I mean, you saw it too.
Mhm.
I just saw it for the first time yesterday, and we've been under contract for almost a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if the numbers are good, you don't need to see the property.
Exactly. And also, I mean, rehabbing it, there's a lot of multifamilies in the area that that one is in.
Mhm.
So there's competition.
Yeah.
And most of those properties are older, they're not rehabbed. So by adding that touch, that kind of guarantees that people prefer to live there
Mhm.
and may not mind paying extra, which even though they might be paying a little more, it's kinda reasonable with the area. I saw a few that were being rented for the prices that we talked about, and they looked janky.
Yeah, they're like as is getting that value. But yeah, that's something too a little bit different because where this fourplex is, it's all a bunch of multifamilies, which we
Mhm.
don't really see that in San Antonio. It's just this one neighborhood.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one more I've seen where there's a lot of duplexes there, but I mean that's something you can like walk maybe consider super risky as well. Like there's all these like why is someone going to choose mine, but that's exactly why we're going to completely renovate it and just make it stand out compared to the
Yeah.
others. And hopefully the right people see that, and at the end of the day, we want good tenants, good people who are living there and can pay the payment and stay with us for a long time. I think that's, it's a different like, mindset too when you're focused on rentals because when you're flipping, you just wanna get the house sold,
Yeah.
and, of course, you're hoping that it goes to a good family and everything, but also when you're renting, it's like you're helping people get into a place where maybe this is just temporary for now, and then they can buy a house later
Mhm.
on, but you're providing a home to people, and you're also their landlord, at least for now, we're self-managing our properties, and you're just doing a good thing. You're
Yeah.
a good cause,
Everyone needs a
the
place to
greater good.
live,
Yeah.
and then I know aren't some of them also, like, they're Section 8 approved?
We have not done
You
Section 8,
haven't?
actually. No,
Oh,
haven't done
I
Section 8
thought y'all
yet.
looked into it or
We looked into it for one of them that wasn't renting for a while, but we didn't do anything about it.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a good strategy too. So,
Yeah.
in my previous occupation, I dealt with clients that were on the Section 8 list, and surprise, surprise, there's a shortage of eligible Section 8 housing. Because apartment complexes, they do have to have affordable housing, but they also have to cater to the general public. So it's not meant for everybody.
Mhm.
And there's a long list. So if y'all ever get some homes that are approved for Section 8, I mean, anyone out there that's doing a buy and hold, a burr, Section 8 does pay reasonably, and you will be helping someone. You're gonna get paid all the time because the money's coming from a state, it's
Yeah.
government funds,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna lapse.
Yeah, I wanna try that this year, if
Mhm.
not myself, like, help another investor do that.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah, it's a
and
good
they
option,
also go through inspections.
and the rents are higher.
Yeah. And Section 8, they do inspections, not just to make sure that the property is adequate for the tenant, but that they're also taking care of the property and following the rules. So it's a good alternative, and you'll always have a tenant because there's a list. I mean,
Mhm.
there's literally people on that list for like 2, 3 years waiting to find a home that'll be approved.
Yeah,
So it's not like having your home on the market for rent for days and months on end. You'll always have someone there.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I would say I mean, now that I'm in contract on this multifamily, I've been looking at the multifamily market a lot more here, like, trying to find another good deal for other clients, and there's a really big shortage of multifamilies on the
Mm.
market in San Antonio, I think. At least, like, because we look at, like, 1990 build or after, just so they're not as old and, like, getting into, like, sewer and foundation and stuff. There's a
Yeah.
pretty good amount of shortage on there, so that's a cold calling list we'll take on pretty soon.
Yeah. And speaking of shortage, those across the street from where you were, it seemed like one of them just hasn't been touched in a while
Yeah,
and
you
needs to
should
be
call them.
finished. I actually thought about it when I was there, but my mind and gears are turning and I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting to see what's going on. Um, but yeah, I mean, speaking because I just brought up cold calling, that's not something that we do often.
No,
Just a few times when we've seen like, driven by a house and 2 of them landed, but I think that shows, like, it can be successful. How come you think we don't do it more?
time. Because, I know we had when we first started the Emerald group, well, it was just us 3, with Najla, who's not here today. Um, we I think made it a goal for like a few weeks that we would drive around one day for like 2, 3 hours. And you're driving around for hours, writing down all these addresses,
Mhm.
but then you have to take the time to go and look them up. Who
Yeah.
owns them? Where do they live? And then after that, another couple of hours of, okay, what's their phone number?
Yeah.
And 10 different numbers pop up. And they may all be wrong numbers. Maybe only one works. And then you're thinking, okay, let me find this person's husband or this person's sibling.
Mhm.
And I mean, you've already spent a whole hour on one person and it led to no results. So it was kind of one of those like, okay, I don't have time for this right now.
Mhm. Yeah. I think for me too, I mean, it's just about, like, making the time for it and being consistent. But that's a big goal for me this year is trying to get more deals direct to seller
Yeah.
for sure because we have so many repeat investors and new investors that want deals and it just gets burnt out after submitting offers on the MLS and trusting other wholesalers for deals. Like I'm really focused on building up that like acquisition side of bringing in opportunities for everyone so everyone can eat. We make more money, they make more money,
Yeah.
and ultimately that's the goal, but it's just taking some time, but
To build up the systems and also having
hire
the help.
yeah, hire the right people that can help
Yeah, at
make
some
that
point you
happen.
had a VA.
Mhm.
I know I've thought at times of getting an assistant during those few months that I was going crazy. I kept thinking and telling myself, I need to hire somebody,
Yeah.
which it's still in my mind because it would help me a lot. And earlier you said you want to work smarter, not harder. And that's the point. You hire someone to help you with some tasks so you have free time to either enjoy it
Mhm.
or do other things that are going to be more productive that are going to grow the business.
Yeah, like they say, like the non-money making activities that
Yeah.
someone else can do for you.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've gone through a few different VAs and assistants. I just hired a VA.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
From
he's
here?
no, not from here, from the Philippines.
Okay.
He started on Monday, but honestly, like the interview process went amazing and he just seemed so amazing. Like, so I really am gonna see this through and like, because ultimately, like, if I can have someone that's my assistant and understands my business, like working 40 hours a week, that's with me for the long run, like, think about how much more we're gonna accomplish,
Yeah.
like and then once he's trained on these specific things, I can bring on someone else that can focus on the next thing, so I'm really just trying because 'cause I've always said it, like, the last, like, 2 or 3 years, like, "I wanna build the systems, I wanna have this, I wanna have that." So, like, this year, I'm really focused on that, like, bringing on the right people and making sure that they're honed in on those tasks because I want him with me for the long run, and it was even something he said in the interview, like, he wants to be with a company for the long time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I hope it all works out.
I hope so, because I know we've had, um, what are they called? TAs? No, TCs.
Oh,
TAs, TCs. I was like transaction
TC,
assistants,
yeah.
transaction coordinators. And we've had like 2 or 3. I don't have one right now, but it takes a long time to train them, and then it doesn't work out, and then you flit to somebody else, and
Mhm.
it's never consistent. And in this business with everything that we have going on, we need someone that can be with us for the long run,
Yeah.
that can learn us
Mhm.
as well, because I have so many ideas and I think, gosh, if I could just like pluck it and put it in someone else's head rather than explain it, it would be so helpful.
I wish, like, copy paste.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Nice. Good.
So, I mean, more goals for this year. I think I upped my sales goal. I'm trying to hit 20 million. I was gonna keep it at 15, but then I was like, "No, like, I can do more." And now that
Yeah.
I've broken into $1 million price point, I made it a goal, like, $6 million plus sales this year, and then when I broke all the numbers down, it was like, "Okay, like, 20 million is the goal this year."
Yeah. And if you
So
break it by quarter, I think that also helps it be more achievable,
yeah,
like
for
just in
sure.
chunks.
Yeah,
So,
so I always do that, like,
yeah.
month by month even, so that I know if I had a bad January, February, I need to do X amount to catch up,
Mhm.
and as far as properties go, I can't remember what my goal was. I think I don't know, I'm not even gonna say it. I should know this, guys. But definitely looking to add on more properties to the portfolio. I feel like it was 5, but I'm buying a fourplex now, so that's
Second
like
is 1 or
4.
4?
That's 4.
That's 4.
It's 4 doors.
But it's only one actual address. I don't know. What is it? What do y'all think? Let's put it up to a vote.
4 doors, girl. Because if I bought a 60 unit on 830 West Mulberry,
Yeah, but
you're gonna
that's
tell me I
different.
only own 1 door?
Well, see, the thing is that from a 1 to 4 door, that's residential. More than
Oh,
that, you're commercial.
okay. Yes. I don't know that I'll get anything more than 4 units this year, but I would say,
But the door's open.
yeah,
Now
the
that you
door's
have
open.
experience acquiring one doors and you have
Yeah.
multiple. Now you've moved on to multiple doors.
What I would love to do one day, and I've always said this, I think I've told you too, is like buying like a little mini like maybe like 24 unit and making it like a boutique hotel type of
I
style.
think you have, yeah.
Like ranch motel.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
a cute little place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you'll do it with me.
I mean, I'm down. I would prefer that over like long-term managing. I
Yeah.
will say that kind of scares me a little bit because I just think of what's going to happen if the tenants are good because you could get lucky and you get great tenants, they take care of the property, or you're unlucky and then you walk in after and you have to put in more money into it to repair it. So, I think if they're there for a shorter term, the risk of damage is lower, perhaps. So, I'd be more open to doing something like that. I think
What?
that could be like a little hotel
Oh, a
type
little
thing.
hotel?
I think I can see that in my future, and there's a lot of things that I didn't see in the future that are happening, or I did see them, but they're happening a lot sooner than I planned for them to be. So it's definitely possible to happen in the next 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
maybe even less.
Yeah. I think next 5 years.
I'm saying like 5 to 10 years, but it might happen even sooner.
I think next 5 years. I just pulled up my goals because I wanted to make sure I shared everything correctly. But yeah, it's 20 million in sales, which translates to 44 deals. Buy a multifamily property, flip a 50K plus profit deal,
Mm,
which now that I'm looking at that, that's like I don't feel good about that because yes, 50K is great on flip, but that better be like a 30-day turnaround because
yeah.
if not, like that
Well, you're
50K could
starting on one
disappear.
that's got
Right.
similar.
Correct, which we didn't get into. Uh, Buy a sub 2 and sell my property. I need to sell that other flip too, so let me
Yes.
write that down.
That's a good goal.
Um, and then I know something else, that I had wrote down was learning how to, this year, use other people's money. So,
Mm,
leveraging other people's money to buy properties.
yeah.
Like, whether that's an investor that has a certain ownership percentage into the deal, and we're buying that without any of our money.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I've been thinking about with a particular partner that I have. And I've talked about it very minimally here and there, but it's been in the back of my mind because there's potential there. So I would say that's a goal as well. And getting into goals, I really haven't thought about it this year.
Girl, we're in March. You need to
I
set your
know.
goals.
Well, March is next week, okay? I mean, definitely it's gonna be increasing the GCI, which I think I'm gonna stick to my 20K every year, but I already surpassed it last year by doing over twice as much as I thought. So
Mhm.
I know that I can do that. I know I can achieve that goal. I think I can surpass that goal. And then my other goals are gonna be like home improvement type stuff because I wanna set up my property so that I can eventually sell it. It's something that I've talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like talking about it, I am manifesting it. I'm screaming it into the universe. It's my prayer to God. Like he's listening, the stars, everything out there is listening to what I'm putting out and it's going to happen. And
Yeah.
it also motivates me because if I'm saying it, it's kind of like, okay, well I said it. I've got to do it now. So, preparing my house so that it can sell, which that might be a tough one because of where I live, but my goal is to move into San Antonio
Mhm.
in the next year or 2. So, that's where I'm at right now. Those are my 3 main goals, I think, for now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. What about yours? Let us know what your goals are.
Yeah, let us know what your goals are, guys.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, next episode we'll probably bring on a guest, to be determined who that is, but we do like to bring on guests to the podcast every other episode or so, just so you can hear the experience of other investors, specifically clients that we've worked with, that can share their whole story. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're
This was just a
excited.
catch up. It was a lot of rambling, but, you're getting to know us and also seeing what it's like in the industry,
Mhm.
but we'll also have some informative episodes.
Yes. So cheers to more money and more problems in 2026. Good
Dante.
problems, good problems.